Okay, so today we are going to be building the castle which will sit on this hill here. I've actually gone ahead and designed it in creative mode first because I'm pretty terrible. Ouch. I'm pretty terrible at designing castles, so I thought that would be a good idea. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited to build this one. I'm taking inspiration from some old German castle that I found online because I think those look pretty cool. It's not the usual grey colour, it's more white with grey texturing, and you'll be able to see it up there. It'll be pretty cool looking, I hope. But it does require a ton of materials. It requires, I think, 10,000 sandstone and a lot of sandstone stairs and stuff like that. But also the most annoying block that it requires is a whole lot of bone blocks, a few thousand bone blocks. So I don't really know how we're going to collect those. I could use my mob farm up there, then we'd also get a good amount of gunpowder, but that thing is pretty slow because it's not in the most optimal area. Or we could use our bone meal farm in the industrial district, but that's currently made to be a moss farm. So I'll probably do one huge AFK session there, or yeah, I don't know, that's probably the best idea. So without further ado, let's start collecting a ton of materials, and hopefully we can try and get this done before day 1000. So we only really have 100 days because I designed it first. It won't take very long to build, just to gather all these materials, and then we can work on the interior, but that's going to take a whole lot of time. So let's start by heading to the desert to gather a ton of sandstone. So now I have 8 shulker boxes all completely filled with sandstones. That should be a bit more than enough. And we've mined out a pretty large area here. All of this down here as well. So yeah, and but my pickaxes are almost destroyed. Let's check the statistics. I've mined 13,500 sandstone now, so that should be more than enough, I think. So yeah, let's transport this back home. It might actually end up needing more sandstone because I have to craft sandstone stairs and sandstone slabs and stuff, but I'll come back here a bit later for all of that. I have to smelt this all into smooth sandstone, so I'm going to do that next, and then I'll just AFK my mob farm for ages and ages to try and get all the bone blocks we need. So there's nothing really to show in a time lapse, so I might just cut when it's all done. It's currently day 898, so let's see how long it will have been until we're all done with the next materials. Okay, so I've gotten all the bones. If we come up here, they're all crafted down into bone blocks. So yeah, I got a bit extra. It's day 929 now, so that did take quite a while, but we've got them all. And I also collected all the gunpowder I got, and oh my goodness me, 4 shulker boxes and almost a double chest full of gunpowder. That is going to suit me forever. So that's insane. I can just tear down that farm now, basically. But yeah, that's our second bulk material gathered up now. So next step is putting all this stuff in the furnace, in the super smelter, to turn to smooth sandstone. So here is all the sandstone, along with, I've got it in a few of these boxes already, all nice and smooth now. I've been having trouble with the inbuilt clock that was here for quite a while that sends the minecart back and forth. So I just added this huge repeater chain. It's pretty terrible, but it works, so that's all that matters. You need it because the minecart needs to spend a little bit of time refilling with stuff, or it only gets a few items and only fills up these first few furnaces, because it just gets bounced straight back and only has a bit of time to sit here. But So next up we've got to do a few things. We've got to get a bunch of dark oak because I don't have a dark oak farm yet, so we're going to have to mine that manually. I need a bunch of mushroom stems, which we can just use that farm for, and we need more smooth sandstone because I need to make slab stairs and walls and things like that. Let's do a little bit of a montage, probably in replay mod, nice cinematic time lapse of getting all those materials. Okay, so it's been a little while. It's day 954, and I thought so I could start building. I just went ahead and gathered all the materials. I had most of them in storages or just in close proximity to gather, so it didn't take too long, but still pretty time consuming, a few hours. So of course we've got this whole row of sandstone, the bone blocks here as well, more sandstone things. I had to go and gather that. Got a bunch of dark oak stuff, these just from the farm in the industrial district, and a bunch more basic materials. But yeah, so quite happy with that. I just got some random flowers for it as well, which I thought would be nice together, and crafted up some end rods too. That's basically all of the excitement here, and now we can actually start building, which I'm really excited for. I'll probably build up the foundation first so I can give you a look at it, and then we'll build the castle, and then might even do the sugarcane farm underneath it for today's episode. So yeah, let's go ahead and build up this huge sandstone foundation. Okay, so the foundation for the castle is done. It's pretty good. It's quite a quick job to build this castle because I designed it first, so it's just kind of copying it all down. But it is still pretty time consuming. This took multiple hours, but I think it looks pretty good. It's a pretty huge foundation, and you can imagine these trees sort of lining it, and then they'll give a nice sort of portrait for the actual castle to sit up here. So we've got the massive staircase, and we've got this sort of walkway, sort of, if you can imagine, protecting the building, that goes all the way around. Side like this is pretty cool. I think this is a way into, this will probably be how we access the sugarcane farm, which will be inside the base here. And then we can just come along like this, and go in here as well, through these two tunnels. And then the entrance to the castle will be up there, of course. We've got a little bit of texturing in some spots, just a bit experimental. I might add it to the rest of the areas, but I'm kind of just making up my mind at the moment, because this is a bit bland, just having this all sandstone here. But for now, the main goal is to, it's to build up the castle. So now it's time, with all of our resources and bone blocks, to build the actual castle. So let's hop into another time lapse. Well, with that, the castle is done. Well, there's definitely a few more details I have to add to it, but this is a pretty good base. So I'm really happy with how it's come out. It looks pretty cool from all angles, like down here. It's a bit of a unique design, but I'm certainly liking it. We're going to have to add a bit of a way to come up here better to the staircase. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and could use with a bit of refining, maybe adding something up there, or a bit of a taller tower at the back, just to give it a bit more shaping. But I think for now it's pretty good. I like this archway too, with the tower over there. It's got a bit of a hole in it, because I don't really know what I'm going to use it for or that for. I've got an idea of how the interior is going to go in my head of the actual castle. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and let's just put some materials away. I've got a bunch of extra materials as always. I always gather quite a few too many things, but it's just, there's a few more details that I can add right now, which is the doors and some little flowers and decorations out the front here. I made some nice little flower beds which can give a bit of colour, maybe one at the end there, some green, some red and yellow, and then maybe a little bit of a bush here. It's nice. And a nice little yellow one here. So let's see how that looks from afar. Oops. Yeah, so just a nice little bit of colour. I might add that to some more windows because it's nice with a little bit of colour there. But yeah, so now we've got two nice big buildings in our area. If we go to a midpoint like here, we've got the greenhouse over there and the castle up here now. Let's check the back as well. So yeah, there's the back. I kind of didn't really know what to do for that, so maybe that window will change, maybe we'll add a back door or something, or even another bridge coming out this way, but for now this window's just a bit of a placeholder. But I really like the back. We've got a nice chimney there, and just some nice shapes and windows. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. I like this side too, just some nice basic stripes, and let's just add some doors. But the interior is pretty massive, so the actual castle itself, the floor's going to be here obviously, and then down below this whole foundation area is where the sugarcane farm's going to go, and we can build that today probably, but it's pretty creepy down there. We'll need to light up the area, and we can add one more door right here. So definitely a big success. It's already under day 1000, so it's definitely in the goal, 972. So let's up the render distance and see it from a few more angles just before we build the sugarcane farm. So from far back here, I'm excited for this view. Yeah, I really like that over the forest. And you can imagine the trees will come. Oops. The trees will come all the way up on the mountain as well, so it'll be nice and populated. But yeah, that's a pretty cool view from far away. What about from the greenhouse? Yeah, that's a really nice view as well. Pretty cool. And another reason I had it so high on the foundation is this way you can kind of at least see it from the city, not in these crowded archways of course, but like from back here you can see it peeking over some buildings, because otherwise there's no chance you could even see it from the city. It also looks pretty nice here as well. It looks a bit, what's the word, intimidating. This is a pretty good turning point for me, because I've tried to build a few castles in the past and never really succeeded, but I think this is my best go at it yet. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I like the little foundation walkway going across. Let's have a look how it looks from this. Yeah, pretty huge. So now it's time we built up the sugarcane farm, which might even bring us to day 1000. So let me put some stuff away. Okay, so I've gathered the materials for the sugarcane farm. I just have to test out, does this actually work? Yes, you can. Okay, so I'm just gonna do something really basic, put hoppers underneath mud and get pistons to push sugarcane once it's grown. It's laggy. I don't have very much sugarcane at the moment, so I'm just gonna build a small version of a farm and then wait till some more sugarcane is produced so we can put it on all the rest of the farm. And yeah, so I think that is good. I also connected all of the walls down to the floor and lit it up nicely, so yeah, it's looking quite nice in here now. It's a pretty cool view from down here, all the closed off windows. But it is time we get started on the sugarcane farm. I'll probably add a ladder up to storage system, or a ladder down to the storage system, which will be down here. And now we can get building in another time lapse. So the sugarcane farm is done. I AFK'd it for about 1 or so hours. It's now day 990, so on the verge of 1000, and I've gotten all the sugarcane, so it's quite efficient, definitely more efficient than our one in the city, and it's just in our base and it doesn't need to be turned on to run, so whenever we're in the area it'll be running, and hopefully we'll get all sugarcane we'll ever need from this. If I ever need more for some reason, I can always double layer it. There's definitely room to do that. Also, I added a floor to the building, to the castle. If we come up here, just use some dark oak wood, because that's going to match the theme I'm going to go with. So here we go, it's looking pretty nice up here, nice and cozy. So this sort of is going to be what the castle feels like, but we'll bring the walls in one. And then, actually, I'll probably use dark oak to decorate most of the walls, and we'll have the great hall with the map room, and bedrooms, offices for all the royal family. And then, yeah, maybe underneath the castle, we can make another floor above the sugarcane farm, and that can be sort of the barracks where all the royal guards are trained. That might be a good idea. And I'll add a stables out here for the royal horses, the royal stables, I think I'll call it. And anyone that comes to visit as well. So yeah, a really big success today. Let's craft up some new rockets though. And we can use some of the gunpowder we got from AFKing for the bone blocks. And there we go. So that feels very good now, and it is nice to have a second large building in the area, which complements the greenhouse very nicely, I think. Of course, the area still needs to be filled in with forests and villages, but yeah, it's a pretty cool world it's shaping up to be. By the way, I got this castle inspiration from an old German castle. I just searched up German castle because I've heard that the German architecture is quite nice for castles, and I can't remember the exact name of this one, but it should come up a similar sort of castle like this, and I took inspiration from that, and I think it turned out nice, so I'm pretty happy with it. In the future, as well as adding a forest around here, I've pondered adding some rock formations coming up, like one over here maybe, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe just some boulders in the area around the base of the castle. And we also have to add sort of lake or reservoir somewhere, because we need a source for where this lake comes from, so we'll probably have a reservoir up here. But yeah, for now that is it, and we made a ton of progress today, obviously. Sugarcane farm 2, and it's almost day 1000, day 900, and we've already made a bunch more sugarcane, but it's almost day 1000, day 990, so that's a pretty cool milestone. And this area too is looking really nice. I find myself when I'm just walking up, let me turn my brightness down because it looks nicer. When I'm walking up here, it's just really nice to have those extra trees over there, and this is a beautiful view. I might take a screenshot of that. Yeah, I really like that with the greenhouse. But pretty nice, and this is pretty cool too, the castle overarching. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one.